Swaziland, one of Africa's oldest monarchies. Tonight on special assignment, we journey to the royal palace to meet 3 of the wives of King eSwatini III, women who, despite their education and independence, still embrace traditional ways.
He spotted me at the reed dance.
I was singing in a choir, school choir. I guess he was impressed with my doors.
It happened that I was there. I had gone to Pondo and I met the king.
Swaziland, a nation where tradition is deeply rooted and respected. This tiny kingdom is ruled by King eSwatini III, side by side with Indlovukati, the Queen Mother. Despite calls to modernize, the monarchy is not much different from the dynasties of the past. And like many of his ancestors, King eSwatini III has married several times. Umhlanga, the reed dance, is one of Swaziland's oldest ceremonies. To prepare themselves, maidens camp out in the fields for a week. There they cut their reeds and practice the ancient rituals of becoming a woman. A day before the event, the reeds are delivered to the Queen Mother at the eSwatini Royal Palace. They are used to build traditional windbreakers and huts. The reed dance usually takes place once a year, at the beginning of spring. Maidens celebrate their virginity in front of the Swazi nation and pay homage to the king.
Umhlanga, it's an event which all in the olden days, that's where the young girls would come and participate because they are showing love and tradition to the culture.
Myth has it that the king chooses his wife at the reed dance, but this is not always the case.
It's not as if that's where the king normally gets his wives also.
A reed dance is just supposed to be a reed dance. I don't know that he's supposed to choose a wife at every reed dance, because he doesn't choose a wife at every reed dance. Otherwise, now he would have, let me see how many wives, about 14.
It should be somewhere where they'll be able to meet other kids and enjoy themselves. Because also the mhlanga is for a purpose.
The mhlanga is for celebrating the virginity of the maidens and for celebrating youth and for paying homage to our ruler.
King eSwatini has 7 wives and a fiancé. The wife-to-be still takes part in the dance. Only when she conceives will she become the king's wife.
Qala ube litshitshi ngesikisi nje athi noma uyalathi litshitshi bese uyahamba uyazi uyafika uba intombi uhambe uze ufika lapha bese kubonakala ukuthi soyakhehla bethi njalo ke lokho akuqala bese uyakhehla sekubonakala ukuthi noma sokukhehla sowulungela ukuthi soyahamba soyakwenza.
Really enjoy yourselves. It's like a girls' night out, you know? But with them, it's a weekend. For them, it's an outing. It's a weekend out. You go, you dance, you have fun, you sleep together with these whole lot of other people from everywhere. It's a get-together of some kind.
It was quite fascinating because it was my first umhlanga when I was taken as the king's fiancé.
Personally, I've never attended umhlanga reed dance, yes, as a maiden. I've only participated now that I am a wife to the king.
Angithi uyabala ukuthi mina ngawujuba lo mhlanga mbeka ka4 vele maba utho ukuthi ufanele nje ube intombi impela uyabala ukuthi ngijubile ngawujuba makwazi ujube kancane kusho ukuthi usheshe wase uyonakala nje ungakafike ebuntombini bakho.
According to Swazi tradition, the king's first two wives are traditional wives. They're presented to him by the Mota and Matebula clans, and he has very little say in the matter. At the age of 32, he already has 7 wives.
Some people can take it like it's tradition, he has to do it. But, well, I don't know in the future with all the modern and the values, but so far I think it's okay. But I think he's comfortable with it too.
And are your wives comfortable with it?
So far I am. I don't know about the others, but I am.
Coming from a monogamous family, I think at first it was something new. It was something new to me. But because I knew when I arrived that the king already had 4 wives ahead of me. So I knew what the situation was.
You do go through stages before you actually reach a point where you feel you're coping. You go through certain stages, you do certain things, and you experiment. You want to find out, okay, if I do things this way, how will it feel if I do things this way? So I'm one of those who has been able to go through all kinds of stages, and I have been able to reach a point where I think, okay, if I look at it this way, I can live with it.
When Queen Delifa Magwaza married the king, she had to find ways to cope with being wife number 6.
I can say that was quite a dramatic change, like growing up, in the modern, like home, and all of a sudden everything changed somehow. But right now I feel maybe it was a lesson somehow to be made stronger, to be able to cope.
I am in a situation, and a situation which I would like to think is not an ordinary one. And if I keep my mind off thinking about the situation I'm in and rather enjoy myself and do things I feel I'm good at or things I feel can benefit other people, then it enriches my life.
Time helped me to adjust. It was quite a different situation. I mean, from where I came from, and all of a sudden having all these bodyguards and having rules and restrictions.
With my artwork and the designing, I'm always occupied.
Queen Namagwaza showed us her art exhibition. Keeping busy is one of the ways these queens cope with life as a royal.
Kungokuthi kwamina ngamsiza ngamshangathi uma ungumama akufuneka uhlale nje ngezandla ene futhi lapha awuyenzi intando yakho uthi namhla ngikhanuka kweshop ongikhanuka kuyakuphi manje ke esikhona ukuthi usikhiphe busy kufanele wenze izinto noma yini okubona ukuthi lokhu ngakukhipha busy.
Charity work plays a vital role in the lives of these queens.
It is a day on which we recognize significant roles played by our women in society.
I myself, I'm not just sitting and being idle. I'm trying to make an example to them. So I guess the inspiration comes from trying, to see the need that people should be hardworking.
There's a lot that I do myself. I design when I find time. I design, and then I do beadwork. I also do a bit of artwork, drawing and painting. Also at the same time, you have to attend to public functions. You have to attend to people who need to have an audience with you.
So my final word of gratitude goes to all you who have helped to make this a special night, and whose contributions will help to give many Swazi children the blessing of education.
And sometimes you find that there's a lot of state visits that you have to attend to. The king goes away to state visits, so there's a lot that I do.
My charity work, and there are lots of people who come to me for different reasons. Sometimes empowerment, They want me to assist them in certain things. There are still areas in which our nation's women are not able to contribute as much as they might towards the kingdom's development. I have so many functions to attend, and in my spare time I sing.
He's the very stronghold of my life. Whom shall I fear? When my enemies attack me, when evil men advance against me, I shall not fear.
I believe at first a lot of people were skeptical. They thought, how can she lower herself to that standard? And how can our queen sing? It sounded ridiculous to them. I believe Christians were very excited because it's so good when you know that people who are your leaders are leading a certain example. For them, it was a lot that I could actually stand up and say, I'm a Christian. I can preach the gospel because I believe singing gospel music, you're just preaching through song.
He will see you through. Hallelujah. He will see you through. Thank you, Jesus.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, with immense humility, I wish to express my profound gratitude to His Majesty for his presence here tonight, as well as for his unwavering support towards my zealous endeavors, regardless of what people may say, think, or do. Your Majesty, you are by all means the wind beneath my wings.
This public display of affection for the king was not well received in the palace.
At first, there was maybe that obligation to have to do what you're expected to do, But as time goes on, you grow, you mature, and you realize what makes you happy and what makes you unhappy. And as they usually say, you can't please everybody, so you might as well please yourself.
He's a king, but also he's my husband. I guess it does call for, being able to express yourself, because there comes a time where you just sit and talk, So I guess, there comes a time, if I'm not happy, I guess it's the best way to say I'm not happy.
It's just like any other married couple. Yes, he is very understanding. I mean, if you think that he is understanding to the whole country, then it should be simple, understanding his own problems with his family. Yes, I never find a problem relating to him, especially because we've been together for 13 years now, so it's a long time. Yes, I know him very well, and he is a normal person.
All of them are the same. There's nothing special about any particular one. And as you mentioned, they're all lovely. That's it. So it's like any other marriage. However, you continue to live within that particular marriage. That's how I live with my family.
7 queens, 1 king. Do they all get along?
One big happy family. I don't know. I think when we're together, which I find happens not so much anymore, we are able to get along. There really isn't much conflict while we're together.
Maybe sometimes we do have small differences, but at the end of the day, you have to reconcile, because now and again we have to meet, for certain occasions. So I guess it calls for that we have to be a close family and, interact, in a manner where people will feel comfortable, like we are rivals in the family.
We all share one interest. We love the country and we love one man. So we try to support each other, I believe. We are one big family.
The competition part of it is bound to be, it's just that I feel some people look up to certain people whether they want to admit it or not. And Sometimes if somebody does something, you'll think, that's a good idea. Maybe let me try that.
Some people might think, when you look at the whatever, you might think it's a competition. But to me, I feel that it's no competition. I do what I do best, and the next person does what she feels, is good for her.
I don't see the need for competition because we all have our organizations we work with. We all have our work. So there's really no room for competition.
We aren't the same. For myself, I like to set standards for myself. I like to tell myself, okay, I want to achieve this. Not because I've seen somebody else who has, but because I want to. And instead, my inspiration are my family. My parents, they're still studying even today. My brothers, I feel, I come from a well-educated family, so why should I be any different? With me, it's not like I'm competing or with them or whatever, but I just like to feel, we're in the same league.
I am in my path. I know what I want. I have my goals. I have my dreams. I just concentrate on what I want to do.
Wende kabi vele ngiyambita mzanami abongakafanele ukuthi ukwende lo naye kathi awu cha ngiyami ngiyalibona liphutha lami vele ngendini ngoba phela vele uekhaya vele wena umzali ufanele ukukhuthe tonke izinto lokhu bantu abama nguthanzi lo ngoba masongamkhuthi naye uthi angane nawe ngente lokhu maka awukangikhuthi.
Well, whenever he's around, he does give himself the time of maybe calling them and talking to them and whatever he can do with whilst he's having them around. I guess they do have that he's the king, like so sometimes they're not so free, like when they're with me.
The queens don't live with the king. They stay in different palaces with their children.
They have a very good relationship. They can go to the king and say, Your Majesty. The most important thing is the respect. They know that they have to respect the king, that they do understand he is their father, but they know that they cannot address him as daddy. And I think they love him a lot. They look up to him. We relate quite easily because I think he is a very humble person. He's kind.
How do you relate with your father, the king?
We only get to talk on those few occasions, and that's when he comes to my house, and then if he's not busy, because usually with people, but it's quite okay.
Does it affect you that you don't see him so often?
Not really, because I'm not used to it.
I have to make sure my kids are instilled with the correct morals. I have to discipline them. I have to love them at the same time. They must know the difference between right and wrong. I have to instill in them godly fear, as my parents did in me.
As they grow up, I guess it's up to me, how to teach them, what it's expected from them. Because I guess they have to have it at the back of their mind that somehow they are different, because they have to represent who they are, because as a princess, I guess they have to come forward, like a princess. So I guess with that in mind, I guess they'll grow up and learn.
I feel it's important that they learn how to do things for themselves. Yes, it's important to be independent, to know how to do things for yourself and not rely to somebody.
Well, I'm used to having gods around me, but not people around me. It's like uncomfortable. Some people talk about me bad things and I don't like it, but I just don't think about them. I just try focusing on what I'm supposed to do.
I know that my daughter doesn't like, being guarded every time. Yeah, she has complained.
My children don't have a problem because of their status. I find they're able to live with other kids and make friends and interact with everybody because I teach them certain values, and I always teach them self-respect, that they should respect themselves and they should respect the next person. If you attend a public function, that's fine. It's okay for people to see you. But if you mean going into a shopping mall and into a shop to buy clothes when people are there, it's a different story because you feel very uncomfortable. When we travel, it's fine because, especially out of the country, not that many people know you. So you feel very comfortable because you can shop and you can mix with the people and they don't know who you are. But we still mix tradition and modern living because we maintain the traditional attire. We wear that whenever we go public, whenever we attend any cultural events, and we still speak the eSwatini language, which is very important to maintain your language.
You know, when you're educated, you're able to look further than a person who's uneducated, usually. You're able to look at something and analyze it and think of the repercussions from different points of view. Your mind, you know, it just widens.
Nowadays, with the technology and science, they need to be aware of what's happening all around them. They mustn't just sit and be idle and think, I'm having everything here, so why not sit and do nothing? One day they'll be out there and they want to fend themselves, you know. I think once you have education, you're given the platform where you feel you can, you know, try anything.
He will make me successful in all that I do. He can do the same for you. He can do the same for you too.
I think it's just best to tell yourself, live your life. Live your life. You know, when is there fine, when is not fine. You know. Don't even bother about where he is or what he's doing. It's okay, that's his business. You've got your own business as well. Tell yourself, it's not like in an ordinary marriage where you say you join together, that we're to become one, that is. Instead, to don't become one. I become one and he becomes whatever.
At first it was hard, I must admit. It was hard, but I guess with the experience and maturity, I've learned, you know, to be able to cope.
All I can say is that I'm content. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have the same thoughts, but now it's life. To me, it's life, and I've accepted it, and I think I am very comfortable the way I am living.
People can understand our tradition and the culture, that the Swazi nation, this is how they live. This is one thing which makes us unique in many countries, since we have preserved our traditions and culture.